actually held on to that for like 6 years, man. And I was like, this isn't healthy. And I'm talking to my therapist about it. And I put it on record. And it's history. It doesn't matter. I respect Charlemagne. Some of the he be saying is wild. You know what I mean? Like asking me what I'm doing for the Black Lives Matter movement as a black man.
Like that nigga, he just came up with anything. He just came up with anything, and so he was like, that nigga Charlemagne was like, he was like, I saw a Vlad interview where you said he don't like watching gay dudes rap or some shit, and then Logic was like, he was like, did I say that? He was like, nah.
Questions that personally, that makes me not feel accepted. But there's no issue, dude. It ain't that deep. If I saw Charlemagne, I'd be like, what's up? I actually would love to talk to Charlemagne.
Can I work on that? Can I hook y'all up?
Yeah, for sure.
Well, salute to Logic. You know, I don't have a problem with Logic, but you know, he was being disingenuous in that interview with Rob Markman, because you know, he knows I did not randomly ask him who raped his sister. Context matters, and not social media context, real actual context. And as you just heard in that interview, he mentioned his sister being raped twice. Okay. That's why you got to listen to the whole exchange with Logic in full, you know. But you know, on the internet, somebody edited it, and it starts off with me just saying, "Who raped your sister?" And they've been passing that clip around for years. And I don't expect these digital D heads online to be smart, but I expect Logic to be smarter than that, because he was actually sitting there. Okay, but I have no problems with the young man Logic, and I do appreciate the way he talks about his own mental health struggles and his.
I don't know. They was in the store for the free. I don't. Nah, I ain't even know. I ain't even know about it. I, I had no idea you can create them joints. I Yeah, they did say something like in the store, and they were free. They were free, and they right. They don't give shit away for free like this. Mm-hmm.
And I really don't know where I got that headline from about the homophobic thing. I could have swore that was on Vlad TV or something, but yeah, I asked him about a false headline. It happens. I didn't accuse him of being homophobic. I asked him about a false headline, and when he asked me where I got that from, I said I had no idea. So clearly it wasn't true. So I mean, you know, God bless.
You know what I don't understand?
It's just miscommunication.
I don't understand with Logic and a lot of rappers is you rap, you want to be famous, you do this to get your point across, and of course you're gonna get people that love your music and people that don't like your music. And then when people say they don't like your music, people get hurt and they get upset about it. But that's what opinion's about, right?
Yeah, and I mean, yeah, and the thing with rappers too, if you're gonna rap about,
You switch back to Samsung.
There's certain things about your family, certain things happening.
You switch back to the Android joint.
Things in interviews. Yeah, you're probably gonna get asked.
But
You know, it definitely wasn't malicious or coming from a bad place, but the internet, man, the internet will manipulate things. They literally cut the clip to where it starts off with me just saying, "Who raped your sister?"
Right.
Like, Jesus Christ. I know I
Joe Budden,
a freaking jerk, but I wasn't that much of a jerk.
Joe Budden did call Logic one of the worst rappers to ever grace a microphone. That's really harsh.
That's his opinion.
That's his opinion.
I know,
That's his opinion, though.
I don't even know that he's ever listened to Logic music.
I'm sure
people that think Joe Budden
is trash.
People that think Joe Budden sucks as a rapper.
Yeah.
It happens.
And Logic could feel that way. He could feel that Joe Budden's trash. He could feel that Joe Budden's podcast is trash. He could feel that The Breakfast Club is trash. But that's his opinion. And he can have his opinion on whatever he wants.
Whoa. Actually, he said in that interview with Rob Markman, Charlemagne is a damn good radio personality, one of the best. Okay, let's put that out there. Let's not have any too many false narratives floating around.
Shut up, man. Shut up, man. It ain't all about you all the time.
Yes, it is!
All right. And now let's talk about J. Cole. The Pistons are saying that they want J. Cole to hit them up for that tryout. So they posted, "We see you out here. You said they only got 12 slots on the Pistons. Hit us up for that tryout. This is all for the Dreamers."
Okay.
That could be good.
I think it'd be dope.
I'm gonna be honest. Yeah, I would love to see J. Cole try out for the Pistons, but I really do hate how easy it is for some of these youngins nowadays.
Right.
I know it wasn't that easy for Master P. I know it wasn't that easy.
If you got right, if you bless you, if you got pull. Like if you're a rapper and you get on J. Cole type status, then yeah, you can get a tryout.
Not because he's J. Cole.
That's what they saying.
I mean, we haven't seen his skill set, but I heard he's been working. I heard he's been working with NBA trainers, and I heard he's pretty damn good. So I'm excited to see him.
Like the Pistons already posted his jersey. Like they put a mock image of his jersey up. Like, come on, man.
Right.
Let the man earn his spot.
Yeah.
They're excited.
Like it's niggas who train their whole life for this shit.
They signed J. Cole. Attendance will be through the roof. Are they gonna make the playoffs this year? Are they even in the playoffs? I haven't seen them.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Now is J. Cole working out with Chris Berkeley?
Yeah, I'm not trying to hate on. I'm not hating on nothing. That's just not right.
All right, well, I'm Angela Yee, and that is your rumor report.
Donkey of the day for Tuesday, August 4th goes to Major League Baseball player Reese McGuire. Now, he is a 25-year-old catcher for the Toronto Blue Jays. Toronto, what's happening? On February 7th, Reese was arrested in Dunedin, Florida for masturbating in a strip mall parking lot. That's right, little five-knuckle shuffle. Okay, that damn Florida will get you every time. What does your Uncle Shala always say about the great state of Florida? The craziest people in America come from the Bronx and all of Florida. And even if you're not from there, sometimes just being there can make you crazy too. Let's listen to the news report, please.
Catcher for Toronto Blue Jays is getting some exposure the team isn't very pleased with.
Pinellas deputies busted 24-year-old Reese McGuire, accusing him of exposing himself.
According to the Pinellas County arrest report,
all you had to do was just swing it.
arrived at this parking lot at Patricia and Main in Dunedin at 2 in the afternoon on Friday. They spotted McGuire naked from the waist down. The report indicates there was an extremely pornographic video on his cell phone. Deputies say McGuire apologized, saying he was sorry repeatedly. When asked why his pants were down, he replied, quote, "I really shouldn't have been doing that." They also wrote McGuire had just finished a practice at the team's facility, had a bite to eat,
and
then ended up in this parking lot.
Wow. TMZ actually has audio of him trying to explain why he did this to the police officers.
I was checking to make sure no one was looking, like no one was around me. And then at that point, I kind of got screwed when I saw these, and then I realized what an idiot, what a dumb place to be. I mean, if you're down at an apartment next to the stadium, why would you come to a parking lot just to masturbate? I don't know. I'm not sure what goes on from here, but as far as I've realized that I made a mistake with having my pants down and doing what I was doing, and I mean, if there's any way I can really learn from it, I feel like hopefully no one's harmed, and I really am apologizing.
I don't know.
I know I shouldn't have done it.
Wow. Reese McGuire, a.k.a. Yank Aaron. If you
Play for the Blue Jays.
Don't ask him, okay? How the hell you just pull up to a parking
Right.
lot to have a date with Pamela Anderson? All right, I know you're an MLB player, but isn't there a better place to play a game of one-handed baseball? This reminds me of an article I read in the New Yorker some years ago, back in 2014. You can look it up. It's called Baseball's Sticky Secrets. I'm not sure this is what they meant. Okay, if you're a baseball fan, which I'm not, then you remember when Yankee pitcher Michael Pineda. Did I pronounce his name right, you Yankee fans? Michael Pineda? Y'all don't remember? Is that his name? Nobody
Right.
knows, huh?
I don't know.
Michael had been caught on TV cameras with pine tar on his hand. I am almost positive Reese McGuire would rather get caught with that sticky substance on his hand than whatever came from the old shake and
Shit.
shake. Now, I don't know why, but when I reread this article about baseball's sticky secrets, after reading this article, it just sounds a little sick. Okay, I'm going to read some of this verbatim, and you tell me, am I alone here with thinking whoever wrote this quite possibly has had the front in a strip mall parking lot? Oh yes, bunting is a term that should be used when an MLB player gets caught masturbating in a strip mall parking lot. I mean, if first base is kissing, making out, and a home run is sex, then bunting has to be masturbation, right? Right? Anyway, let me read you some stuff from this article and tell me.
Go ahead,
after hearing
bro.
this story of Reese McGuire, your mind, doesn't go in the gutter while reading this story. Follow me, Drum. Can you put on some sensual music, maybe? Drum, what do you put on right before you're about to, do a little one-on-one with yourself? Play that little tune.
Wow.
Okay.
All right. Okay.
That's a sexy tune.
This is straight from the New Yorker.
Good block.
Pine tar, which is the sticky byproduct of a process of firing pine wood under pressure. Whoa. Reese McGuire, a.k.a. Ernie Spankbanks, was clearly trying to relieve some pressure by firing off pine tar from his pine wood in the strip mall parking lot. Okay, let's continue. Hitters are allowed to put this sticky stuff on their bats to keep bats from slipping out of their hands and flying dangerously at players on the field or into the stands. Wow. If it's flying at players on the field or people in the stands, we might have to call Reese Derek Skeeter. All right. Meanwhile, pitchers are not allowed to use it. Clearly, in the case of Reese McGuire, only catchers can use it. Envy and Drama, I want to ask you both a question.
Oh boy.
Are you pitchers or are you catchers? Huh?
Like shit.
Do you guys prefer?
Like
prefer
shit.
the top of the knife or the
All the NBA players forgot how to play basketball and
Can I be a
shit.
hitter? Can I be a batter?
All right.
I don't think there's a winner in this situation.
You just got to rub your bat with this sticky substance, okay? Now, let me tell you why this New Yorker article says pitchers are not allowed to use this sticky substance. It's a perfectly good explanation. By the letter of the rules, they cannot apply a foreign substance of any kind to the balls. That includes tacky substances, as well as slippery things like Vaseline. They are also not allowed to spit on the ball or rub it on their bodies. The rationale behind these rules is that messing with the balls makes it do weird, unfair, and potentially dangerous things. A lubed up spitball, for instance.
All right, enough's enough.
I'm reading from the article.
No,
I'm
kinky,
reading
man.
from the New Yorker.
You're fantasizing right now. You're kinky.
Well, I'm not reading any more of this unless you pay me.
All right.
Okay. Now back to Reese McGuire, a.k.a. Jacking Robinson. I have nothing else to say about him other than he needs to wash
Nigga
his
ain't even
hands,
jump.
use hand sanitizer, and social distance. Okay? Oh, and wear a mask. In fact, catchers in baseball wear masks all the time. In fact, they wear masks with throat protectors. I don't know what that has to do with anything, but it sounds fitting. Please give Reese McGuire the sweet sounds of the Hamiltons. Oh, now you are the donkey of the day. You are the donkey of the day.
Somebody quit.
You're very kinky this morning, bro. I just want to throw that out there.
I need to look up
I
Reese
tried.
McGuire's salary real quick. Hold on, what is Reese McGuire's salary? Reese McGuire's salary. Oh.
Why you need to know that?
It's about time. What's going on? Rumor report. This is the Rumor Report with Angela Yee on the Breakfast Club.
Yes, so congratulations to The Rock. He and his partner, Danny Garcia, and Redbird Capital's Jerry Cardinal have acquired the XFL. So apparently they purchased this right before it went on the auction block for $15 million.
Well, that's relatively cheap for a whole sports franchise, and it's also interesting because XFL used to be owned by the person who owned WWE. So think about that. A guy who used to be an employee of the WWE then came up, and he's now his own boss and can buy the XFL.
When I first heard it, I thought he bought a team, but he bought the whole league.
Yes, it was founded by Vince McMahon, and they have actually gone bankrupt twice, so now they're going to have to figure out how can they turn things around. But he does think he can turn the XFL into a real sports league, and obviously, you know, we all know with The Rock, he did used to play football as well, so I'm sure this is something that's personal for him.
I tell you one thing.
Well,
I was watching the games. I was actually watching the games before Corona hit.
Indeed.
When Corona hit, it shut everything down. But I was actually watching the games in February and March when they were playing, and I thought it was going to be a great league because it was something after football, and it wasn't scrubs. It was good players, but COVID shut that down.
Yeah, I hope he succeeds, but they would have had to really convince me to invest in that. $15 million after they done been bankrupt twice. But
I think they would have made it the second time around. If COVID didn't hit, I think they would have did good.
This has been the third time. They've been bankrupt twice already.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, that deal is expected to close August 21st as long as everything goes smoothly. It does feel like $50 million is not a crazy amount of money to own the whole league, though.
The whole league? No, it doesn't.
Nah, not at all.
That's not a lot of money.
Especially The Rock. How much The Rock makes per movie? 30,
he probably makes that for one post on Instagram. You're like, let me do one Instagram post and buy the league.
Yeah, he's definitely the highest paid actor in Hollywood, so he probably makes that on a film. Probably makes that on the back end easily.
Mm-hmm.
All right, now Peter Thomas, who used to be on Real Housewives of Atlanta, has confirmed that he is coronavirus positive. Here's what he said on social media.
It's the most excruciating pain I could think of. They said mine's a gastro. My stomach been a complete wreck for the last 8 days. Constant cramping. Pain is crazy. Chills all day, all night. Waking up in cold sweat. Constantly have to keep my body hydrated. No appetite. Diarrhea. Throwing up.
Now, he thinks he got it because he was taking pictures with fans at one of his establishments, and he would lower his mask to do that.
Yeah, I heard what he was saying, and, I feel bad for the brother, and, of course, I pray for anybody with coronavirus, but I don't know if y'all noticed. Did y'all notice his line was straight as hell? Like, he had a fresh baldy, a fresh straight line and everything. I'm like, he don't look like he's been laying in bed for 8 days, but I definitely want him to heal and get better quickly.
Hey, question. How do people recognize you in mask?
Maybe because he owns the place, so they just kind of know it's him.
They can still recognize you.
I'm just talking about in general.
People still know who you are.
That happened to me in the supermarket. I had my mask on, and somebody was like, Angela? I was like,
It's in your nature to reach for more. It's in our nature to make it cost less.
Oh, Chris.
Heard y'all. 2 Chainz heard y'all. Now listen, this is a hot JBP take straight off the press. Mm-hmm. Nowhere else will people admit that 2 Chainz. Nowhere else will they actually watch artists every move to see if they react to something that may have been said but us. And I think, and Rory thinks,
I do,
that 2 Chainz heard somebody out there, and he ain't really feeling what y'all are saying. That's my humble opinion. I could be off, but I don't think I am.
As you should, though.
And this goes back to my classist argument amongst artists. Like, this might be the first time that Chainz has ever heard from anywhere.
Fall asleep, bro.
Where would he hear that?
That's just something you should know.
Well, because people wouldn't pin them two together. Like, they wouldn't pin them against each other.
They would.
Pin them against each other? Nobody's ever compared Rick Ross and 2 Chainz.
People have compared every great Southern
People have never compared Rick Ross and 2 Chainz.
Joe, that's never been a real conversation.
Never. You've never heard people saying.
I'm sure someone has.
Ross. Of course, someone in the world. Yes,
I'm not saying it's dominated
popular conversation.
The water coolers.
It's never been a popular conversation. Nobody's ever thought about that. A lot of people. I still think 2 Chainz is underrated.
I agree.
Which is why I like this for him, because people will become more familiar with his catalog. But the common listener of music, they don't give 2 Chainz the credit he deserves.
I'm about to ask a question that is going to pit me as maybe off, or it could be taken as disrespectful, but I promise this is with all the respect. So I'm going to just start all my take that. Yo, this is with all the respect, honestly, for real.
Now let me disrespect you.
But I don't think this is disrespectful. But judging from some talks we've had off the air, I'm going to ask y'all, because truth be told, I don't listen to rap. I don't give a fuck what none of these niggas is doing.
You listen to rap. You do listen to rap. We can't say that. You listen. But you're listening differently.
Not like I did at 21
you listen
fool's nice. Fellas, are you still powdering your balls? You know you don't need to, right? There's no need for messy powders or nasty ointments. That's a thing of the past. If you want to keep your fellas feeling cool and dry all day and reduce chafing, then you need to get your...
How do you know that's me?
They can tell your eyes. They can tell your eyes and head.
In movies, when somebody's robbing a store and a mask on, and the person is like, Angela, that's you? That's how you be feeling when you have a mask on in the store. That's you?
All right, now, Quincy Brown is now Coach's first ever global watch ambassador, so congratulations to him for their new watch collection. And they said he is the perfect ambassador.
I was thinking the same thing.
I'll be Shore's son, Diddy, and Kim Porter's son.
Oh,
Quincy.
Yeah, okay, Quincy.
Should have just said Quincy, and we put doing the Brown. You threw me off.
I ain't never heard the Quincy Brown. I never know the B stood for Brown. I didn't know he had a B.
Okay. Well, anyway, they said he's the perfect ambassador to represent this collection.
So Al B. Shore's last name is Brown? All these years I thought Al B. Shore's last name was Shore.
Al B's last name is Shore, fool. What's wrong with you?
So how you get Brown?
His last name is not Shore.
Al's last name ain't Shore. Prove it, Yee.
Hold on, let me prove it to you right now.
Are you sure his last name is not Shore?
I thought his last name was Shore.
I don't think you're sure about this. Albie's last name
His name is Albert Joseph Brown III.
See?
Don't believe it.
I thought his name, I thought it would be Quincy Shore. I would have definitely called him Quincy Shore. But okay. There's something new every day on the Breakfast Club.
Combs,
all right.
Never heard
now,
Brown.
Bobby Shmurda could be released from prison today. That's what people were saying on social media yesterday. I don't know if that's really true, but fans speculated that that could happen. And he was set to go before the parole board in August, according to his mother. She said if he's granted an early release, that he would start working immediately on new music. So I don't know if this is true. I just saw it trending, and then I was trying to do some research to find out what was happening. They had said his parole hearing was scheduled for the first week of August. So according to reports, today's that day.
Yeah, they've been saying that for the last couple of weeks. So I hope so. And today is his birthday too. So happy birthday to Bobby Shmurda.
And I said this a long time ago. You know, if y'all get so upset over people who don't keep it solid and people who actually snitch to get their time cut, shouldn't Bobby and Rowdy get a hero's welcome based off the rules of the street? Shouldn't they get a hero's welcome in the culture of hip hop, since they actually, you know, did their time, held it down? Bobby even took more time so him and Roddy could get the same type of sentence. Shouldn't they get a hero's welcome in hip hop?
Yes, absolutely.
I feel like they will.
They should, absolutely.
They should.
Okay, well, I'm Angela Yee, and that is your Rumor Report.
When all you want to do is this. It's Miller time.
So why are we trying to push forward? It's obviously for the money, and that bothers me because there's always been this, and I hate saying it like that, but the owner's attitude is, oh, we own you guys. And just kind of that unfairness going on, that they don't see us as human.
Yeah.
I just feel like the season shouldn't happen, and I'm prepared for it not to happen, and I wouldn't mind not having it. On that note, we bring in our quarterback, Timothy Hasselbeck. Tim, always good to see you. Max, I'll start with you on this one. Odell Beckham is set to make $14 million this season. How do his comments make
It's going right now.
Makes him look bad. And not only that, in a way, unserious. One of the reasons that the NBA, I think, was able to create the situation they have now, which is it looks likely, I'm cautiously optimistic, that they'll actually crown a champion. Now, I can't, you have to admit, most of their season was played, right? So they want that local TV money. They play another 7 or 8 games, and then they go right to the playoffs. But they have a long playoff season. The entire NFL season, if done properly, could fit into the NBA, almost into the NBA playoff season. But one of the reasons the NBA was able to achieve something that I don't think Major League Baseball or the NFL is, namely crowning a champion, was there's much more trust between ownership and also commissioner in the form of Adam Silver and the players. They believe that both sides are good faith operators, good faith actors. They're negotiating in a serious way to have a season. I don't think that's the case in the NFL. Guys, we had Marquise Goodwin on, who, by the way, has been to hell what's happened in his personal life on your worst enemy and has come out of it and faced it like a man. And on this show, I asked him, if the NFL were to propose something like, look, we can't do 16 or 17 games. It's not realistic. We could do 8 games, and we could have a couple bubbles set up, 3, 4, however many it takes, bubbles set up that you can't be with your family, because he tried to turn, well, if I could be with my family. No, you can't be with your family. You got to be away, let's say, for 10 weeks. But if you do that, you'll make it to the playoffs, and then you can visit, you reset, whatever. But you have that 10-week period, let's say in an 8-week season, an 8-game season you can get in. Would you sign up for that? And he didn't rule it out. That is a serious proposal. The NBA was serious about this. I don't think Major League Baseball is serious. At least I don't think the Players Union was. And partly I blame that on the owners. They always are trying to pull fast ones on the players. The players don't trust them. And partly it's other stuff too, I'm sure. But at the NFL too, the owners are not realizing we have to cut our losses now. We probably will lose money this season. But let's lose as little money as possible. Let's get out ahead of this.
Good pass.
We're not going to get 16 or 17 games in the middle of a pandemic with no vaccine. And we're not going to have bubbles and stuff. It's just not going to happen. But can we get half our games in? Can we do it like they would have told the players with a serious proposal like that? My guess is guys like Odell Beckham Jr. would say, okay, these are good faith operators. We can try to maybe figure this out because they're being sensible. Forget about the greed and the fact that the owners see them a certain way as chattel instead of people, all that stuff. They would think that they're serious and they have a shot. I think Odell's comments make the NFL look bad. It highlights what they've done wrong.
First of all, listen, here's my position. I don't agree with Odell Beckham Jr. And to be honest with you, Max, I'm a bit annoyed by what he had to say. Listen, first of all, Odell Beckham Jr. is guaranteed $16.75 million for this upcoming season, on top of the $2.75 million from his 2020 base salary. That's a guarantee of $19.5 million for this upcoming season. And that's while he's in the midst of a 5-year, $77 million contract. While a pandemic is going on, and despite that pandemic going on, the NFL is saying, we're conducting business, but if you don't want to play, don't play. So when you have that choice, stop bringing up stuff like, oh, it's like they own us. Because you know what he's alluding to when you're saying that. And there's a time and a place for it. More importantly, there's a sequence or there is a particular incident or whatever the case may be that comes into play where that's a bit more apropos. It's a bit more applicable, okay? Not when you're an NFL player who's making millions and has been given the right to walk away for the season. The NFL is choosing to conduct business. They have made it clear. We would like to know we would like to know sooner than later if you elect not to play. But you do have the choice not to play, and you're not going to lose your contract for it. It's just that you're not going to get paid for this season that you choose not to participate in. It's very, very simple. Last time I checked, that's freedom of choice. So how are you going to go and do an interview with the Wall Street Journal and say, I don't even think we should be playing, but in the same breath saying, oh, I'm going to play? Well, make up your damn mind. Are you going on principle and you feel this way, or do you not? And oh, by the way, listen, I'm a black man. When you're going to bring up race, make it count, please. Could you make it count? That's all I ask. Make it count. Something like this, because they're having the NFL, who employs you, okay, is choosing to have a season. By the way, you're choosing to have that, to play in that season. You got your hand out for your check, right? But in the same breath, you're going to complain about the season that you've elected to participate in, knowing you're going to get paid for it? What type of damn sense does that make? It makes no sense whatsoever. And when you bring up race in this equation, a white guy like you, Max, a white guy like you, Tim, or white folks all across the nation, they sit up there and all of a sudden, you sit up there and go like this, what is this? Because this ain't what we've been talking about here. This is not what the protests have been about. The protest has been about racial oppression, racial inequality, things of that nature. That isn't applicable to you in this sequence, Odell Beckham Jr., or any other NFL player. You have the choice to play and get paid, or don't play and don't get paid. It's a choice. And if it's a choice, guess we can talk about it. You got two choices. Let's resolve it, or let's not resolve it and be on our merry way. What you're not going to do is be in my face saying you accept the circumstances, but you moaning about it too. You don't get to do both. And that's what Odell Beckham Jr. is doing here.
When you can complete your room with free delivery from the Home Depot, you have even more ways to explore decor. Free and flexible delivery, easy online returns. TheHomeDepot.com. How doers get more done.
Would you still take a chance on Antonio Brown?
Yes, I would, because it's low risk, high reward. The fact of the matter is that this guy is a superstar talent. A minimum of 101 receptions for a minimum of 12.
Fuck this little dumbass up.
Yards over 6 consecutive years. He had an 1,800-yard season one year, a 1,600-yard season, a 1,500-yard season.
I gotta run across the street after this game real quick.
This brother's elite. He's one of the great wide receivers in the history of the National Football League. And if you are a contender and you need a receiver, this brother can go.
I gotta get some of them too. Some rotis.
Now you gotta load your cabinet with some Advil, Tylenol, or anything that specializes in migraine headaches, because he's going to give that for you, because he gives new meaning to prima donna. We all recognize that. And obviously he's had a very, very troubled past, there's no question. But the fact that the NFL has come down with that definitive 8-game schedule, obviously, you know, they reserve the right to, Lord knows with them, to do even more. But chances are, since they said it's an 8-game suspension, whoever picks him up, he'll be available for the 9th game of that season in all likelihood. And I think if you're a team like the Baltimore Ravens, I think you want to take a chance on him. If he was contrite and apologetic enough, I think you take a chance on him with the Pittsburgh Steelers potentially as well. They're not going.
Yeah, this one, I struggle with this one. Yeah, Steven, I struggle with this one. Look, his on the field. What more is there to say? He's a lock to be in Canton. They'll be making a bust of him. He'll be up there with the greats, because he's one of the greats, and he's one of the great success stories in the NFL as far as being a self-made guy, someone who earned his way, someone who in Pittsburgh, the coaches there told me, unquestionably.
I had all of them with the first jump. They thought I was gonna shoot on that first jump. They thought I was gonna shoot on the first jump.
He's that good.
All right, I'll be back. Oh, I'm off tomorrow, so yeah, I'm on. Trying to run today. I'll text you.
The great teams, it usually comes down to trust, obviously, and availability, and they kind of go hand in hand.